All right. Next topic is what lessons can players within the community can learn after the fallout of Panda and Smash World Tour?
Oh goodness.
Ooh, I got thoughts on this.
This is something I even know about.
Okay. So mind you, everything keep. There's a lot of speculation.
Nintendo ninjas are kicking in. I think the stream lagging.
That's crazy.
Oh, there we go. It's back.
So keep in mind, a lot of the things that happen behind the scenes, that's speculation. I'm not gonna act like I know everything that happened, simply because that's my brother. I'm not reading all that. But I think the biggest lesson I learned from it all is like the scene kind of continues to hurt itself. With the whole thing with Dr. Allen, I'm not going to act like he didn't do anything wrong, because he did do things wrong. But when I would read up on the situation, I'm just like, okay, some of this is wrong, but he's not entirely wrong about certain things. For example, them wanting to partner with BTS. Well, I know BTS said no because of the way that he approached it.
Sure.
But what happened a couple months later? BTS shut down. And now, I'm not going to speak on all that, but I think that there was some merit to what he was doing. Smash World Tour, all we heard was that they didn't get the license for the event. This did not say that they couldn't run the event. They could have still ran it. Now, obviously, they're being smart legal.
Right.
So I'm not going to fault them on that. Yes, Dr. Allen being the head of Panda was bad. Was bad. We didn't like that. We didn't like that face. However, did we really need to get rid of Panda Global? I mean, Dr. Allen is one individual. Panda Global is a whole organization full of people who are part of the scene, who have been supporting. They had players, they had PG Stats, which is one of our biggest tools we use in all of our majors to keep up with records and stuff like that. They had content, they had
commentators, they had TOs.
There was TOs, commentators.
Production, they had everything.
People getting paid through the scene. You know what we did? I don't know why, but we decided to cancel all of Panda. Which, to me, I thought to myself, don't get me wrong, screw Dr. Allen for what he did. Do we really need to get rid of the whole org? I mean, if you looked like a month before, G2 Esports. G2 Esports, their CEO, the whole thing with them was that he was buddy with Andrew Tate, controversial individual, and people called him out on it, and he was just like, I'm doubling down, I'm tripling down, nah, that's my boy, or whatever.
Right.
And, through the controversial takes that were happening, G2 Esports had a very like guaranteed spot in Valorant esports franchising, because they moved into a franchising model this year. They lost their spot in franchising. That cost them millions of dollars. So what they did with G2 Esports, the board of G2 Esports, they just voted to kick him out as CEO. They have a new CEO now. So I'm just like, why couldn't we achieve the same thing? We didn't need to get rid of a whole org, but no, it's this idea of like, one person did wrong, therefore we have to punish the system. And it doesn't make any sense. And then there are other opportunities where it's like, there's more opportunities coming to Smash where I'll see people questioning. There's Fresh Cut, which Fresh Cut is still supporting stuff. But I remember there's somebody calling them out because it was just like, they were reusing clips from other people. Now, don't get me wrong, you want to give credit to people when you use their clips.
Right.
But they were just like, I don't want to support Fresh Cut. I'm like, I'm going to be real. Fresh Cut is giving us money. We don't have that lot of money. Fresh Cut is supporting us. Coinbase. Now, don't get me wrong, crypto's a weird... I can't go into the whole thing in crypto. I know nothing.
Yeah.
But I know it's a very touchy topic with a lot of people. Coinbase has given us weekly money in our online tournaments. From what I was told, Sonics has been able to pay off a house
Yes.
through tournament winnings
It's
alone.
like $2,000 a week every week.
$2,000 a week.
It's been like 60, 70 weeks. I don't even know where they're at in Coinbox.
Let's say he
could
makes
be years. It could have been more.
Let's say he makes like a 1K a week. Being able to pay off obviously he lives in the Dominican Republic, so maybe cost of living is cheaper. But like being able to pay off a house with Smash, you can't really. Like, there's not many players that are able to do that, but there is money.
There's
coming
almost
in.
no ability to add an S to that.
Exactly.
Yeah, right.
And then we can another one, HBox. Listen, I'm not a fan of HBox. I don't like him as an individual, but best believe that dude grinds for the scene. He's put so much for Ultimate. He does a lot for Ultimate, and he's not even part of the scene.
It's Swanten.
It is Swanten.
I also think he is part of the scene. I think saying that he's not
100%.
part of the
I would definitely argue he's part of the scene.
I mean, in the sense that like he's not like this isn't his main game. He doesn't even. He's not even like his main focus. But he goes above and beyond.
The amount of money, events, promotional material, new players, advertising, eyes he's gotten on the game, especially through COVID. Like, he's definitely a massive reason the game's still thriving like it is.
3,000%.
Whole Team Liquid team with Last, Coinbase, CAC, like they're the ones who kept this game alive through COVID. When with that netcode, it easily could have died. Easily.
Should have.
It probably should have. It's crazy, and you're absolutely right about the Swanten. Like, bro. He started Coinbox. Now he's at the point where tournaments are letting him stream on his stream because they know he will get more viewers on his stream than the actual channels. It's like people have been complaining about why is everything done by HBox?
Yeah,
Like,
why is he casting top 8s? Why are they advertising it? Because he's doing them a huge service in return. Like,
Literally.
you guys don't see it as a player, maybe you're a spectator, but he's there behind the scenes and in person doing work. Definitely respectable.
Yeah, so it's just like, and it just goes back to what I'm saying about like the scene hurts. The biggest thing that hurts the scene is the scene itself. Yeah. It's like we want to see change for a lot of things, but then when change comes, it's like it turns people off, or they're just like, oh well, this is things are too different, or it's too different from what I wanted. And if something is bad to one person, it's bad to the whole community. And honestly, this is why I've like stopped taking part in a lot of discussions of like problems within the scene,
right?
Because people are not that informed. You can't. We used to be like on Smash boards, right? That's like boards, it's threads where people can make long, really thought out responses for things. Now we're on Twitter.
Really thought out.
I don't know about really thought out. They were definitely long.
I'm just saying it's a forum at the end of the day. Yeah, obviously, Smashboards was
a cesspool.
It was a cesspool. Let's not.
a cesspool?
Let me not lie too much.
I could cancel half the community off Smashboards alone.
He can cancel himself.
No, I'm safe.
I don't believe that. Anyways, the point is, if we had
Never dropped an F-bomb in my life.
But the point is, I think if we had something like that in our current state, I think a lot of the problems we had would kind of be avoided. But that aside, now we have Twitter, which you're limited to 280 characters, I think, and that is not much. That's not much of a way for you to get your point across. Yeah, you could make a thread. People are not reading your threads.
Nope.
People are not reading your threads at all. So then it's just like, oh. So a lot of people's intentions get lost. Get lost in these tweets. And then it's just like, oh, well, you just assumed what I said off of what I typed. And then it becomes this whole thing where people get misconstrued, and some people get canceled for no reason. Not everybody. Some people deserve to get canceled.
But a lot are just low-key illiterate and don't know how to defend themselves or describe what they're talking about, and they just make things worse for themselves. And that's why I never interact on Twitter. People will at me all the time for certain things, whatever. I just don't interact. I'm like, if you want a genuine response, you can DM me where I can long form explain, etc. Like, I'm not doing 200 character limit responses to whatever issue. Debate, like I'm just not. You can DM me. That's it.
Oh my god, we should have real debates, but you have character limits.
Oh,
bruh.
50-word debate. Go.
You're only allowed to post your responses on Twitter.
That's crazy.
No one's gonna make it out alive.
That's insane. But yeah, that's my honestly biggest takeaway from the Panda Smash World Tour situation. And with that, like, people don't realize that, you know, even though we didn't like about the Panda thing,
Sure.
we could have still done the Panda Cup. That was still Nintendo's first, like, hey, we're actually involved in this.
Right.
And I don't think people understand that now that people decided not to go to that, what is Nintendo going to think about like working with
Trying
Nintendo
to
again?
invest again.
Like trying to invest again. They're probably and that's like, yeah. I mean, sure, we could just keep doing it grassroots,
Right.
but I feel like it could have potentially been a step in the right direction. And if you want to get that same partnership again, I don't see that happening until we get a new game.
Right. So I will say, though, to backtrack and talk on both those points, the difference between the Panda situation and G2's was definitely the social media response. So like you said, for G2 and stuff, everything that Carlos said was from Carlos, you know, the CEO.
Right.
And then, you know, obviously the esports org itself had its response to that. Like, you know, we don't approve of this. We're looking into it, into the, you know, he's been removed from the team. With Panda's situation, Dr. Allen was posting from the Panda account, doubled down on the Panda account, tripled down on the Panda account.
You're right about
and
this.
after they ended up removing him, they never apologized or removed those posts where he doubled and tripled down. So for a lot of the uninformed, they're just seeing that, you know, well, they keep doubling down, protecting him, like the whole org's got to go, even though it does not represent the thoughts of the whole org, the social media team, the TOs, anyone, you know. And I think that's just very unfortunate. Again, hindsight's 2020. I don't know if they had a board, didn't have a board. He went over the board, whatever. But they
Certainly
definitely
did go overboard.
they definitely as a team folded on that part of, you know, once they made a call to action, removed him and such, they did not take the right steps to, I think, remove and sort of
Rectify,
kind of like reprimand, rectify, like the things that he said. They kind of just said like, oh yeah, like we removed him. He didn't do anything wrong. We removed him. It's just like that left a bad taste in a lot of people's mouths, and I think
Yeah,
that's
that's-
why community perception
That's
turned on
about
the
it.
org
That's
as a
about it.
whole
It-
instead
it
of just
does make,
him.
It does make a huge difference. So you are right about that. Like I said, there's
Yeah. Not that they deserved it, but that's why I believe it. What happened.
I feel like if we, and I feel like because right after that we saw VG boot camp is like hurting on funds, and since then obviously we haven't had a major from them since in a long time,
Right.
because they can't afford to. BTS is shut down, stuff, and there was like a little bit of time earlier this year where people I feel like there was like a little bit of time where we were kind of like, we don't really know what's going on with the game. We don't really know what's going on with the community. Is the game dying? It's not.
Half of our best players were getting canceled all at the same time.
Yeah.
That was
it's-
the single most depressing summer of my life.
That's some.
I didn't know anyone like that by that point. I'd only been in the scene for a year, but I can only imagine if I was personal with people like that. That's
Dude, oh my gosh. When I tell you that was like,
That was worse to
That-
me than Smash World Tour and Panda Cup.
oh no, absolutely. Like nothing will ever compare. Because mind you, I was in the side bet Discord at the time.
Sure.
It's long since disbanded, but like,